Today, I'm going to be answering common questions about silver and gold and what gold and silver stackers should know. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Empire Precious Metals. Stormy here. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy in a bucket talking about precious metals. So make sure you blast that subscribe button, get the bell notification clicked. That way you get updated with any new content. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I asked a lot of my subscribers in a poll to, by and large, just ask me a question that they want me to answer on an upcoming video. This happens to be that video. I get a lot of questions all the time on all the different videos that I post and on Instagram, but I figured this would be a great opportunity for a lot of you to get your questions featured on a video and to answer you directly. I picked a bunch that, in my opinion, were the best questions that would apply to the broadest audience. And I really didn't spend a lot of time actually thinking about the answers to these questions. I wanted to answer these questions in a way that is the most genuine and not really thought out. So I actually have my mouse here and I'm going to be just scrolling through the various questions, and these are in no particular order. First question I have here is from Magnanimous Silver. Realistically, how to create and stick to the goals of stacking. How it's not necessarily a bad thing to go over the intended maximum provided it's affordable, but it shouldn't be done as a constant. Perhaps also the comparison of bullion versus numismatic. Okay, so the first thing I want to tackle is the first part of the question, which is basically realistically sticking to a goal and, thinking that it's not necessarily a bad thing to go over that. It is incredibly challenging to set a stacking goal and to stick to it because, as many of you are very much aware, all sorts of things will pop up in any given moment, right? You could have car trouble, your roof could leak, an appliance breaks, your kid has another sport that they want to sign up for, and so you have to buy all the equipment for that. The most important thing, in my opinion, for you to do is, number one, make sure that you do not carry credit card balances, because if you have savings in precious metals but you happen to have a credit card balance, you're not really saving anything. In fact, it's costing you more money because the balance on the credit card is anywhere between 15 to 20%. And so, the way that the precious metals, silver and gold, fluctuates, you're going to be losing money if you do that. Pay off the credit cards, and then I would say set a goal for yourself that is very realistic. If you want to be putting aside, let's say, $500 a month on precious metals, you might, and you're thinking, hey, you know what, if I scrounge or if I cut out coffee, cut out all these different things in order to make that $500 goal, maybe ease up a little bit and give yourself a little bit more of a realistic goal. It shouldn't be a real struggle. It should be money that's left over after all of your expenses. So maybe if you're thinking a $500 goal is a good goal to go with, maybe you want to back off of it a little bit and maybe do like $300, $350. You don't want to basically be finding yourself cash poor because you're trying to dump all of your money into precious metals. So I would say be realistic. And in terms of comparing bullion versus numismatic, well, I mean, the bullion versus numismatic, it really kind of goes in a couple different directions. Number one, bullion, such as this gold eagle here, you're going to be buying this for basically the gold weight. And when it comes to numismatic, such as the St. Gaudens, as you see here, the St. Gaudens, you're going to be paying a little bit more of a premium on it because it is something that happens to be numismatic in value. You have to basically decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to be stacking gold for the cheapest amount possible and trying to just buy gold for the weight? Or do you want to buy something that has a little bit more upside potential? And not only does this carry the value in gold, but also because the scarcity of this particular coin, it will go up in value due to the fact that there are only so many of these available. Same thing with this double eagle here, right? These are more numismatic in nature. They're not graded or anything, but they are numismatic. Some of these can be sent out for grading. So you have to decide what your strategy is. Do you want to stack for weight, or do you want to stack for that little numismatic edge to provide you with a little bit more upside potential? Next question is from Eric, with prices rising and inflation kicking butts, are we still holding to that 1,000 ounce benchmark, or do we want to adjust for the obtainable milestones? And I'm assuming he's talking about 1,000 ounces in silver, because 1,000 ounces in gold would be insane in the membrane. You know what? I don't think that it's a bad idea to have a goal of 1,000 ounces of silver. That seems to be like a general stacking, 101 type of number. But to be completely honest with you, my own personal stack, the stack that I am holding for myself and not for flipping, I don't have 1,000 ounces of silver. If you did take all of my auction stack, my website, empirepreciousmetals.com inventory, and my own personal stack, then yes, I do have over 1,000 ounces in silver. But for my own personal stack, you know what? I've been really buying gold a lot more this year, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to keep that 1,000 ounce benchmark, but maybe ease off of it for a little while or focus on gold. And as those prices come down a little bit, then maybe start getting back into some silver. Joseph writes, I'm curious about Mexican gold pesos. Will we ever see them at their lower prices again? And what do you think the market for those will be in the future? Excellent question, Joseph. I actually just randomly pulled out this 50 pesos gold coin. Do I think we will see them at lower prices ever again? Anything is possible. I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say no. It could go either way. We do see in the world of stacking these shifts in people's tastes. And right now, the Mexican gold and silver happens to be the really hot items. And I just made a video about this not too long ago, talking about how the silver gold coins of Mexico, these silver and gold coins of Mexico, are really hot. Will they ever be lower in price ever again? I mean, it really all depends. 5 years from now, we might see a big shift in people's tastes going, more towards pre-33 stuff. And then, maybe the Mexican gold and silver will kind of cool off a little bit, and then you'll have the opportunity to dive back in. So right now, the Mexican silver and gold market is hot. I wish I could tell you, yes, we'll see them at their lower prices, but, I really don't know. I wish I had that crystal ball, man. I wish I had that crystal ball. Grouper says, seeing a comment from your gold stack video, you accumulated your stack from your side hustle. An updated tips video on stacking for profit would be a cool video to see. Duly noted, Grouper. I will possibly do that for another video. We don't have time to answer that question in this particular video, so maybe a standalone video will be perfect for that. In fact, you know what? Before I forget, I'm going to write that down. Grouper, Grouperr. And what are we talking about here? Stacking for profit. I think this is one of the areas in which I happen to know quite a bit about, so I'm happy to answer that question real soon. Another question comes from Scamdemic. Is it better to buy an extra ounce of gold a month or pay an extra $2,000 on the mortgage? Okay, so smart money would most likely say pay the mortgage off, right? That seems to be the new rich. If you don't have a mortgage, then you are doing very well, right? Again, it goes to what I said earlier, that with a credit card debt, if you have debt, then you really don't have savings. However, right now, mortgage rates are still historically low. I'm not sure what your mortgage rate is right now, Scamdemic, but if you have a very low mortgage rate, I don't see any problem with actually stacking another $2,000 a month on gold. I don't see a problem in doing that and just paying the mortgage. It depends really on what your age is and what you're looking to do. If I had another $2,000 a month lying around, I would most likely be putting it into gold, because you know what? Again, you're borrowing money really cheap with the mortgage, and you're seeing your your liquid savings grow in the form of gold. You can really free that up at any given time. If you're starting to see that you're sitting on a very big lump sum of gold, then it doesn't hurt you any to cash out some of that gold and make a big, payment towards your mortgage. It really kind of depends on what it is you're looking to do. But for me, my mortgage rate is very low. I have a 3% mortgage rate. So if I had the extra $2,000 a month, I would be buying gold. Absolutely. Alex Williamson says, just like a cash drawer from different businesses, how much of each denomination is a healthy balance of fractional gold? Love the question, Alex. And I think it really kind of all depends, again, on what your goals are. Right now, I do think it is a good idea. If you can't afford, full 1 ounce gold coins, definitely you want to consider stacking fractional gold. In some of my previous videos, I talked about doing 1/4 ounce gold, 1/2 ounce gold, and even 1/10 ounce gold. However, the problem with the 1/10 ounce gold is this. While it's nice to buy because, you're holding all these like little gold coins in your hand, right? If you buy 10 1/10 ounce gold coins, you got 10 of these coins as opposed to the 1 ounce gold coin. But you are going to be paying a significant premium on those 1/10 ounce gold coins. If you buy 10 of them right now, let's just say 10th ounce gold eagles, okay, you're going to be spending around $250, $260 per eagle, which is going to bring you to $2,600. And if you were to buy a 1 ounce gold coin, you're going to be buying a 1 ounce gold coin for around $2,050 to $2,100. You're going to be saving yourself $500 if you're to go with a 1 ounce gold coin. So ideally, when prices come down, if they ever come down, then I would say you want to kind of try to buy some of the fractional gold. However, right now, in my opinion, it doesn't really make much sense to be stacking the fractional gold if you can afford to buy the 1 ounce gold coins. If price wasn't an issue, if we were talking apples to apples, then I would say then you just want to be stacking lots and lots of fractional gold because, why not? Why not have it in smaller denominations? So you're going to have to basically weigh in how much of a savings are you going to get if you just do the 1 ounce as opposed to the fractional gold. I wish I was able to tell you an exact number, but unfortunately, the way the premiums are and everything, it doesn't really make sense to look at things that way. It really just makes sense to look at how much money you can put into buying an ounce of gold at the cheapest rate possible. Vincent Falvo says, for a casual stacker, how much a week, month, year should someone buy gold and silver regardless of the fluctuation of price, or if they should hold off while the market is high? I wish I could tell you hold off while the market is high, but you know what? The problem is when you're thinking the market is high, you never know if it's going to go higher, right? So a lot of people that are waiting on the sidelines and they're thinking, you know what? I'm just going to wait until the prices come down. It might not, okay? The prices can continue to go up. You never know. People always say in the stacking community that the prices are rigged, that there's tons of manipulation, so on and so forth, whatever the case may be. If you are buying only in dips, okay, you're really then playing this game of trying to time everything perfectly, and it doesn't really work that way. So I would try to get out of that mindset, and I would commit more to the slow and steady wins the race philosophy and be stacking on a regular, consistent basis. I think it's best to look at buying silver and gold monthly, and I do think it's best to do it kind of in a time period, depending on when you get paid, when you have a little bit more cash on hand. So like, for example, at the end of the month, for me, all right, on the 30th or 31st, depending on when it is, I'm always paying my mortgage on the 1st of the month. So usually when I'm making my silver and gold purchases, I'm actually buying my stuff in the middle of the month on the 15th of every month. And that's when I'm making my gold purchases. And I would say it depends on your income and your overhead as to how much you should be putting aside. But I think it would be a nice idea if you're able to spring for at least a 1/4 ounce of gold per month, and maybe I would say 20 ounces of silver per month. That might be a big number for some and small for others, but I think that that's a good number. So you're looking at, I don't know, around $1,000 a month of savings if you do something like that. A 1/4 ounce of gold, 20 ounces of silver. I think that's a good number to go with. America. I know some places have apps that can track what you accumulate in your stack, the initial cost, how many ounces, type, current value, etc. Do you, or how do you keep track of everything you have? Love the question, America. I am a nerd when it comes to spreadsheets, and I actually happen to use Google Sheets, which is basically the cloud-based version of Excel, but I use Google Sheets for everything. I can't recommend this enough. Google Sheets allows you to sign in from any device, and you can access your spreadsheets from the cloud. And so in my opinion, Google Sheets is the best thing. I just plug in the purchase date, who I bought it from, how I paid for the particular item. So if I paid with my credit card or PayPal or whatever, I want to be able to know, okay, on March 30th, I purchased these coins with my, credit card from X vendor, because then that allows me to pinpoint exactly that particular purchase. And for me, I've got 3 different stacks that I have to keep track of. I've got my personal stack, I've got my auction stack, in which I am constantly buying and reselling silver and gold, and I have my website stack. So I am constantly keeping track of all this stuff. It's incredibly important to keep track of all of your purchases, because then at least you know how much you've paid, what your value is. If you're ever looking to sell something, you're like, okay, I paid $45 for this Marvel coin. Right now the going rate is 60. I'm going to sell it for, $58, or, whatever the case may be. So it's incredibly important to keep track. Silver Forever writes, I'd like to hear about your transition from amateur to professional business management, etc. My friend, that is going to be a topic for another video, and I am going to write your name down here. You can see I wrote Silver Forever. Transition from amateur to pro. Thank you for calling me a pro. How nice of you. Wow, wowee. All right, let's see. We're going to do a dedicated video for that one. So Silver Forever and Grouper, you guys are going to get your own video. How do you determine your resale pricing? From Mike Chopek. And this is the last question that I fished out that I thought was like the best way to go. Okay, how do you determine your resale pricing? Quite simply, I pretty much look at the going rate on the various online retailers such as JM Bullion, Provident Metals, Bold Precious Metals, AppMex, SD Bullion. I look at all these big retailers. I see how much kind of the average to the lower end guy is priced. Then I also compare that to eBay. And I look at the going rate on eBay, and a lot of times the eBay prices will be usually a little bit more competitive. And so I typically am priced right around there on a lot of my items. That tends to, be what a lot of people go off of, is the eBay prices as the going rates. If you can't see anything on eBay for a particular item, then you definitely want to look at the online retailers and what they're listing them for. That's your best bet. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around for this video. If you have questions, by all means, send them my way. I want to help you guys out the best that I can, and I hope that you found value in this type of video. I look forward to more of your questions. We could do another one of these. And if you have any questions right now, or something that you saw in this video that kind of, made you think of something, definitely put that in the comments down below. And I would like to quickly thank these elite channel supporters. And if you haven't already become a channel member, please check out the awesome perks and join today. With that, this is Empire Precious Metals. Until next time, long live the Empire.